We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. David Benavidez. He is officially sick of Canelo Alvarez ducking. He has decided he's moving on with his career. David Benavidez announced to the WBC that he is staying at 175 pounds because Canelo is DuckTales. Woo! Danger lurks behind you. DuckTales. Woo! David Benavidez is sick of the DuckTales. So he has decided to stay at 175. Now, I made videos about it, talked about it. David Benavidez moved up to 175 to fight Alexander Vodstick. It went the distance. It was on Gervonta Davis's card. He was the chief support, the co-feature. He clearly beat Vodstick. Vodstick all of a sudden got huge. I don't know what that's about, but he looked like a bodybuilder and looked massive. So I'm not mad that David Benavidez couldn't stop him. Plus, it was his first fight in a new division. And Vodstick, he was just doing enough to kind of stay safe. So he had a choice to make. And he was supposed to tell the WBC if he was going to campaign at 175 or drop back down to 168, where he's a former 2X champion. Mauricio Suleiman, president of the WBC, put this memo out in the form of a social media tweet. Says the WBC has just received a letter from Samson Lukowitz, who is the promoter of David Benavidez, exclusive promoter of David Benavidez, confirming that David Benavidez will continue his career as a light heavyweight. He is confirmed as WBC's 175 interim champion and is the mandatory contender for the winner of Beterbiev versus Bivol. And basically, that's what he's on. Now, hopefully he gets another fight in, because I think it would just be good practice, I guess you could say. I know that David Benavidez has sparred against the likes of Dmitry Bivol. I don't think he's ever worked with Artur Beterbiev, but David Benavidez, at a very young age, he was introduced to big punchers. Guys like,
hell no, guys, hey, Max, guys is nothing. His punch is nothing.
Triple G Golovkin. Guys like Kelly Pavlik, right? So he's no stranger to fighting bigger guys. Wars with Bivol, wars with Zordo Ramirez in the gym, and that's just what it is. But I still think it'd be better, because Beterbiev pulled out the fight. He was injured. They're rescheduling the Bivol fight. It's for all the marbles undisputed, and now David Benavidez has a shot immediately as soon as we get a winner for that fight. And this all stems from Canelo Alvarez. Let me explain. Canelo Alvarez apparently, and his fans, the payday, he'll want payday, I know that. The Cinnabons, they apparently think Canelo, since he has a good resume, since he's done what he's already done in the boxing game, they think apparently he doesn't have to do anything else and he could just sit around and fight whoever he wants. But that's not really the mindset of a champion. I understand Canelo makes a lot of money. He's made a lot of money. He got good investments, things like that. But the world wants to see Canelo fight David Benavidez. Canelo is not giving us that. And it's a shame. This could be very well one of those fights that the people demanded, that for whatever reason, and I really blame Canelo, because if you think about it, there's no reason Canelo is going to fight Berlanga. You'd rather fight a second in a row DAZN guy. The last DAZN guy you fought was Jaime Munguia, with a promoter that you left at the time, because Munguia has since went to Top Rank. But at the time he was working with Zanfer, but he was working with Oscar De La Hoya, and Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy, who you detest. Canelo does not like them. He's made that very clear. And there was actually some friction in the buildup for fight week, because Oscar De La Hoya was taunting Canelo, calling him a cheat. And, you know, Canelo was trying to see about him, you know what I mean? And it almost came to blows. So for me, it's bad because you would rather work with someone, and no matter what, Oscar De La Hoya got paid off that Munguia fight. So why would you, if that's your enemy and that's a guy that you don't really rock with, instead of just doing what's right, you're already working with PBC, you already work with Al Heyman, and to make the David Benavidez fight, not only would you be making a fight that's easier to make in-house, it would make more money for the sport. It's a fight that the fans could get behind and would celebrate, but Canelo is choosing guys like Berlanga, and it shows you the difference in where they're at in their careers. David Benavidez, he's younger, but he's also very hungry. I mean, he's very ambitious, and I respect it. He's not waiting for Canelo Alvarez. He's called him out. He's done everything he can do. He kept winning, and now, you know, he has to just keep moving on with his career, because clearly Canelo, when he starts saying the 150 million and 200 million to fight him, he clearly doesn't want the fight, and it's very obvious. He's picking everyone. He's picking smaller guys like Jermell Charlo, guys like John Ryder and Berlanga. They don't have to do anything. Ryder, I thought he lost to Danny Jacobs, but somehow, some way, he gets a fight with Canelo before Benavidez. So it's apparent what type of time Canelo is on, and it's right for Benavidez to just keep moving on and try to secure his greatness and get a meaningful win. So we may never see Canelo versus Benavidez, and it's a shame. And you also see things like the UFC, they're not even waiting anymore. Before, Canelo had the quote unquote Mexican dates the second week of September. Now Dana White already made it clear he's putting on the Sphere card and he's putting his own event. He don't care if Canelo's fighting. So now you're gonna have two combat sports in the Las Vegas Strip at the same day, and people are gonna be split. All this because Canelo doesn't want to fight Benavidez. And I can tell you it's that because Dana White said if Canelo doesn't fight Benavidez, then we're going on that date. So Dana White is understanding the business that a fight of that magnitude with Canelo and Benavidez would be too big to go against. So he made it clear that if Canelo didn't pick Benavidez, then he doesn't care, because he knows that's the fight that the fans want. And Dana White said this. He's on wax saying this. So that shows you right there that Canelo doesn't really want to fight against David Benavidez, because Canelo could easily pick. You won't have to work with DAZN. You wouldn't have to work with Eddie Hearn in Rematch Room. You would make an in-house fight. It would solidify your greatness. You would give a young guy a chance. That's what Floyd Mayweather did to you. Floyd Mayweather gave a very youthful Canelo an opportunity, and he couldn't pass the torch because he was too good, and Canelo couldn't beat him, and Canelo couldn't, you know, figure out the May Vinci code. But the opportunity was there, and that's what's supposed to be there. It's supposed to be Eric Morales fighting Danny Garcia, and the first fight was tougher than the torch was passed in the second fight. But Canelo is so selfish that he'd rather give an opportunity to a lot more undeserving people like Edgar Berlanga, Yildirim, John Ryder, and a 54-pound Jermell Charlo than make probably the biggest fight in the sport. And from the sounds of it, he doesn't seem like he wants to fight Crawford. Now, I'm not even big on the Crawford fight like that, but I'd rather, if Canelo was going to keep picking all these other fights that I don't want, then yeah, I'd rather Crawford get a shot than Berlanga or Yildirim or, you know, some of these Billy Joe Saunders type of fights, Liam's and stuff like that. I'd rather the name sake of Crawford, even though I've been on record and I still feel the same way. I'm not too keen on Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford at all, because I don't like built-in excuses, and I think that's a lot of weight to move up. But again, beggars can't be choosers. If Canelo's not going to fight Benavidez, then at least fight Crawford. You know, see, and it goes to show you the games Canelo's playing. When you fight a smaller Jermell Charlo, then you don't have no problems fighting the guy who's smaller. If Crawford beats Madrimov, he's in the same kind of boat. He'll be a champion. He'll be a 54-pounder. Why won't Canelo bring up Crawford to the 168 and try to at least beat him if you're not going to make the best fight at 168, which is the David Benavidez fight? So I'm not mad at Benavidez. I fully understand why he feels the need to move forward with his career, because Canelo's playing games. And what type of games being played? How's it going down? Stars to the stars, and I got to know now. You can't spend all day trying to chase somebody. So go after Benavidez, which is what the fans said he wouldn't do. So Benavidez continues to try to secure his legacy and prove people wrong, because a lot of you haters and the Canelo Cinnabons said that Benavidez wouldn't fight Benavidez winner.